As we all sit here, we know that the last couple of years has been super disruptive for the industry. There's been this juxtaposition of a ton of demand and then significant operational challenges across the spectrum, many of which we never considered or haven't considered to the extent we have most recently. We've got a limited workforce, so finding the right people to do the work, to do it safely and efficiently is difficult. We're all having a difficult time managing costs out in the job site, costs from our supply chain. It's not just that those costs are rising, it's that they're unpredictable. It's very difficult to understand what's going to happen next week, next month, and certainly next year. And then finally, we're all in the mode of managing with a supply chain that is not as reliable as it has been in the past. As we've moved through COVID and the challenges it's created, it's really put a spotlight, I think, on identifying areas where we can operate more efficiently, where we can create flow, where we can plan better, and therefore we can deliver, the best possible experience for our workers and the best possible product for our customers. If you go back and take a 20-year look at productivity and you juxtapose manufacturing and construction, and what you see is that construction just hasn't seen the gains in productivity that we've seen in manufacturing. And there are reasons for that. I mean, clearly in a manufacturing environment, you're in a controlled space, you're not having to deal with weather and other challenges. You've also generally got a single factory or multiple factories all producing similar things that you can manage much more tightly. But there are some things that would come in that really can help the productivity of construction operations. And that's all centers around new techniques for building and constructing and delivery. It also centers around implementing technology into the parts of the business where it makes sense. We're not at all advocates of technology for technology's sake, but we are absolutely advocates of finding those spots where technology can improve overall productivity and drive a better outcome for ourselves and our customers. And as we think about this, right, as it says at the bottom, lean thinking offers a real path to the kind of productivity improvements that we've seen in manufacturing over the last 20 years. So at the highest level, when we talk about lean, for those of you that they're on the call that may not be as familiar, I'm going to talk very academically, then I'm going to turn over to April to give us the reallys on how this works. But we break lean up into 6 categories. And I would say the first 2 really fit together, right? It's identifying early on who are the stakeholders in the project and where are there opportunities to reduce waste, right? To improve process and maximize returns. It's then all about taking those opportunities and determining the ways that you can improve project margins by taking waste out of a system. And waste can come in many different areas, right? It can be financial waste, it can be personnel waste, it can be supply waste. We're going to talk through a couple of those areas today. And then determining with that, how do we create a flow such that between the planning part of the project and the delivery, that we have strong communications and we're in fact pulling information and materials through the project. So we have triggers in place that are automatically creating a project that flows onto itself. And the last piece I would talk about is the most important. It's understanding that none of this happens in a vacuum and none of it happens once. It's all about looking continually at what we're doing on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis and find those opportunities for small gains. I think, when folks get started in lean, and my background's Six Sigma primarily, but when you get started in that space, there's often this concept that we're looking for the silver bullet. We're looking for the 60, 70% improvement. And the fact of the matter is, to get to those kind of numbers, what you're really doing is stacking a whole lot of 1, 2, and 5% on top of each other. And that's how that's how you make substantial improvement.